GETTY, REUTERSADVERTISINGinRead invented by TeadsADVERTISINGinRead invented by TeadsTheresa May is scrambling for control as Brexit talks near their deadline. Theresa May travel to Brussels to meet Jean-Claude Juncker, or she may not, with confusion surrounding Mrs May's gameplay. Leaders in Belfast, Brussels and Dublin are all refusing to back down from their demands, which leaves Mrs May in a near impossible position. With the DUP threatening to pull their support for the Tories in Westminster, Mrs May knows she must keep leader Arlene Foster on side. Yesterday, however, the unionist leader refused to visit London for talks and expressed surprise Mrs May had arranged a phone call. And Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar has also said Ireland will not stray from the terms already agreed earlier this week with Mrs May and approved with the EU before Ms Foster's intervention. Dublin possess a veto which could block talks progressing to trade unless the country is happy with Mrs May's assurances on the Irish border. Brussels says it is happy to talk to Mrs May whenever she is ready, although Mr Juncker has warned Mrs May he is out of town at the end of the week, a not-so-subtle hint to speed up the Brexit process. Live updates below. Related articles: Ruth Davidson says Brexit deal must be same across Britain. Brexit on brink, Arlene Foster too busy to meet Theresa May. (8:40 a.m), anger at IDS. Lots of anger in Ireland at Ian Duncan Smith's clumsy comments last night. The former Tory leader sparked fury when he described the Ireland border issue and fears of a return to violence as this Irish stuff. He said, "You know, this Irish stuff was not at this state some months ago, now it suddenly becomes an issue between the Irish for political reasons internally." Presidential elections. Irish Times news editor Mark Hennessy tweeted in response, "The Brexiteer was a fool or a liar." His comments come after months of increasingly panicked warning from both Dublin and Belfast about the impact of Brexit on Ireland. Even months before the referendum, the topic was raised in Ireland, and ignored in Westminster. And the former Tory leader's reference to the Irish presidential election is equally mystifying. The vote is largely symbolic and has no impact on foreign affairs. (8:20 a.m), Starmer first up. Good morning to Labour's shadow Brexit Secretary Sir Keir Starmer. He has reiterated Labour is prepared to keep membership of the single market and customs union up for negotiation following a transition period after withdrawal. He told BBC Radio 4's Today programme, "We say leave that option on the table. We certainly wouldn't rule it out. We'd want to have a conversation. We are in the EU and we will leave the EU. The question then is, can we reach an agreement with the EU that gives us those benefits?" (8:15 a.m), May's Brexit riddle. A good tweet about Theresa May's Brexit conundrum from legal expert David Alan Green. A Prime Minister has a soft Brexit cross-party majority in the House of Commons, Ireland supported by EU27 and the DUP keeping her party in government. How does she get all three to the other side of the river when she can only carry two at a time? Answers on a postcard, preferably sent to Downing Street. (8:10 a.m), Brexit debate. The European Union withdrawal bill will also be discussed in Parliament today. Day 5 of the committee stay will kick off after PMQs at 1 p.m. As with PMQs, the timing could not be worse. 8 a.m., May set for PMQ's showdown. Joey Miller here starting off today's live blog. Mrs May has a grueling schedule ahead of her today, with the weekly Prime Minister's questions only adding to the load. The weekly shouting match has come at a bad time for Mrs May, with Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn sure to stick the boot in, despite his own party's Brexit chaos. We'll be covering the fun and games as it starts at midday. Follow it live here. Related articles: Brussels is trying to PRY Northern Ireland from UK, warns Han on furious upsung Brexit deal. May forced to call off talks, May facing leadership challenge if UK gives in to Ireland on Brexit.